Welcome to Stop the Madness. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Stop the Madness. I'm your host, The Kid Plot. My co-host, Isaac Cotto. We are in the building today. You got the merch on. We have a special guest in the building today. We got Mighty Mom in the building. How you doing today? We're doing great. Make sure you're speaking to the mic so everybody can hear you. If you want to pull the mic closer to you, that would be great. Yeah, we go. Isaac Cotto, what are we talking about today? Actually, before we actually tell them what we're talking about,
okay,
please let everybody know. Give everybody a little background about yourself. Tell them what you do. Give them your Instagram handle, everything.
Okay, well, I am Mighty Mom. What's up, everybody? Mighty Mom here once again. As Kid Plot has already said, if you don't know me, I'm sure you know my son, which is Mighty Duck.
That's your boy,
which we
Mighty
started
Duck.
Probably 8-9 years ago. He started on Vine.
Mom, they following me, Mom. They following me.
Who following you?
The bugs.
The bugs.
And just kind of was doing pranks on me, and he blew up from there, and I blew up from him. So
Yes.
that's it. And my Instagram is Mighty Mom _ and my TikTok is Mighty_Mom. Yeah.
I gotta say, you swagged out right now. You swagged out.
With the logo.
Yo, you swagged out. Shades on, the watch bling bling. Damn, I need to go back home and change.
And we were talking, like, she really is the star of all the Vine
Yo,
videos.
listen, I love Mighty Duck. That's my brother. That's my man's. But his mom set it off. She was the extra sauce on
like
top.
the Batman movies and the Joker. The Joker makes the movie, you know what I'm saying?
Even though Batman is the main character. So Mighty Duck was Batman. She was Joker. And Joker was still like
the show.
Yeah. I got it. That's a good ass analogy. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. So, all right, check it out. So we happy to have Mighty Mom in the building.
Yeah.
We got Mighty Duck in the background doing hand signs. So, real quick, we got a few videos we're gonna go through. I'm super excited.
Okay.
Right? We got Mighty Mom in the building. We got an Officer Tatum video.
Okay.
Talking about some immigration stuff. So it's a hot topic, as we know.
All right.
And we got two dating type topics videos we're going to talk about, right?
I can't
one
wait.
is about what should a guy make, and another one is going to talk about age and when it comes to dating. So we're going to start out first with the Officer Tatum video. I think it's pretty relevant because we got the elections coming up, and honestly, it's going to really see what we do when it comes to immigration. So let's check out this video real quick.
Let's see.
AOC. I ain't seen her talk in a very long time. This woman here is a conundrum. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. I bet a whole bunch of conservatives would take it there with her. I'm saying, I'm just being honest. A whole bunch of conservatives, they don't like her, but I bet you if nobody knew, they'll probably date her. Anyway, she's still crazy as 3 left shoes on an 8-legged man. But what I want to play this video for is to let you guys know they are saying the quiet part out loud. They're saying the quiet part out loud. I've been telling y'all for 400 years now. Even before I was born, I was telling y'all. My ancestors was telling y'all that these communist fools are attempting to allow the border to stay open in perpetuity so that they can do what she about to say. I'm telling you, I want y'all to comment. Have I been saying this or have I not been saying this? AOC just said exactly their agenda. And if you wonder why the borders are open, you wonder how they let 300,000 illegal aliens in our country. This is exactly what their plan is. 100, they're not hiding it from you. This is what they want to do. Roll the clip.
From all parts of the political spectrum, one of the biggest issues that we have when it comes to immigration is the fact that we have an undocumented population. Mm-hmm. Now, you can fix that by trying to build a wall, or you can fix that by trying to document people.
Yeah. He's a fool.
I can't stand these people. I swear to God. Please. I hope they all go to hell. We can fix that by documenting people. Listen. These people are not in our country legally, and they forgot their papers at home. So we're just giving them new documents. These people are illegally in our country. You can't just give documents to illegal people. That's not how it works. But that's how they want to do it. You can't give it. Listen, they broke the law. They can come through a port of entry to seek asylum. They could do that, but they're not. They're sneaking in our country. Many of them probably don't have an asylum claim. You have to have an asylum claim. Everybody can't just come to America they feel like it. But that's not why they don't have documents.
Well, right. Just real quick, let me just give a little context, right? So, Officer Tatum says a lot of these people currently, there's over 12 million people that are undocumented in the country, which means they either cross the border illegally, right? Or they've come to the country legally. They came here on a tourist visa, student visa, work visa, whatever it is. And those visas have time limitations. A visa is basically permission to come to the United States. So I came with my girlfriend, my wife, and I wanted to go to Disney World. But guess what? I decided not to leave, and I stay. I am now undocumented. I am illegally staying in the country. So he makes the fact that they don't have an asylum claim. And in many cases, that is true. The asylum law is very, very strict. It has to do if you were prosecuted for religion, race, political opinion. They're very strict guidelines. A lot of these people that are crossing the border are for guidelines outside of the specific narrow view of asylum. For example, if I am a business owner in a country, say some Central American country, and the gangs of that country, the MS-13, are coming to my house, coming to my business saying, if you don't pay me, we're going to kill you. Or they've kidnapped a brother or sister, or they killed a family member, and now I didn't pay. They're coming to kill me. I leave. So I'm being persecuted. My life is in danger. I leave the country. But for asylum, it would have to be the government that's after me, right? So say a communist country, and I don't want to be a communist. I'm against the government, and now they want to come and arrest me or kill me or whatever, and I leave. That's an asylum claim for a political reason. But my life and my family can really be in danger, and I decide to cross the border illegally. I won't qualify for asylum, right? So when he says they don't have an asylum claim, we got to know what really do you need to qualify for asylum, right? So that's what it's a very general statement, but I think what he's looking at is very micro. It's very small. I think immigration needs to be looked at the macro level, which is big. There's, I don't know, whatever the number that crossed within the Biden administration, that's just a snapshot. But overall, you have people that have been here 10, 20 years that are undocumented. Like you can't create an army to say, hey, go in the houses of all these people and get them out the country. That's not realistic. Mm-hmm. The immigration system is clearly broken. But this concept of get them all and remove them, that's just not reality. I think that's one of the biggest problems. And what he's talking about is not realistic. I think the thought is, yeah, they shouldn't be here. But logistically, it is impossible to remove everyone that's undocumented. You just is not possible.
But you think that he was actually insinuating get rid of all the illegal people that are already here, or actually preventing them from getting here?
And that clip that we just saw, that little bit, he's talking about you're here illegally. These people are here illegally. Now, I think AOC, I love AOC. She's Puerto Rican. I can't front. I love her. She's an amazing. What she's done in her life is amazing. I think it's too much.
Who's what's
Alexandria Ocasio?
Alexandra. Okay, gotcha.
She's a congresswoman, Democrat, very liberal. Means she's very open border, and I think she takes it too far. Are you okay? She's very open border. Are you open border? No, I'm not open border.
Are you open border, Mighty Mom?
So I can see both sides. Am I open border? I would say no.
So you would agree that it's come here legally?
I would say, if you come here illegally, then try to get your documentation so you can stay.
Okay, got you. But not stay here illegally.
No.
Okay, so you're against people staying here illegally. If you left your country because things are just terrible, you're living the worst life of your life, you come here illegally, but then at some point you need to try to become legal.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because if you're leaving your country, if it's so bad and you want better, you also want to stay here. So you have to do what is going to be required.
What the country asks
I
of
would
you.
think. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Well, that's when they say the immigration system is broken, because right now, the thought of do what you can to become legal doesn't exist. There's just no mechanism in place. Like, hey, my life was in danger, or
What? Time about. You've helped a lot of clients.
Yes.
In your office.
yes,
They were here illegally, and you helped them be legal. Have you not?
yeah. But there's a lot there were a lot where we could not look the asylum. As an attorney, let's be very transparent.
Okay.
An asylum claim is very specific. There's very nuances where you can kind of paint the picture to kind of see if I can get this person to qualify under these 5 categories, right? But a lot of times the asylum process in itself, if I'm undocumented and I say, look, I have fear of my life to go back to my home country, that doesn't necessarily mean I have asylum. Because if it's not the government, it's not past persecution, it's not for political or religious reasons, or, I won't qualify for asylum. But that doesn't stop me for applying for asylum. Applying for asylum and winning an asylum case are 2 different issues, right? So I applied for asylum. I know I've spoken to my immigration attorney, and he's told me, hey, John, you probably are not going to win this case. You really don't qualify for asylum. But if you want to apply, you're a client of mine and you pay me, I'm going to apply for you this asylum case. And I'm going to paint this picture as good as I can, even though I think the odds of you winning are very low. But guess what? The asylum process right now can last years.
So somebody that comes here from Cuba has a better chance.
That's different.
Because that's a communist country.
Yes, there's a whole different system.
But in Dominican Republic, which is a free country now, it's a little harder.
Nicaragua or one of these very poor, gang-infested countries, for a long time, El Salvador was one of those countries. They come in like, man, they're trying to kill me, rob me, whatever. That doesn't mean you're going to win asylum because it doesn't fall in those categories. But I say, Mighty Mom, you know what? We're going to submit this asylum application. It's going to be in the system 5, 6, 7 years before the case is finally decided. But in the meantime, you get work authorization. You're allowed to work. You get a work permit. You can work. You can drive. And so now you're in the United States. You're working. You're driving. You have because that's the biggest issue, right? You can't get a license if you're not documented. And now you're functioning for 5, 6, 7 years. You're able to make money, save money, start a business. You have all these things that you can do until your case is decided. Now, as an attorney, I say, look, the immigration law can change at any time. New president, new laws.
Okay, hold on. Real quick. I got to ask Mighty Mom something. So I just want to be clear. So you're okay with someone coming here illegally in the beginning if their life is hard or if they feel like their life is in danger. You're okay with them coming here illegally as long as at some point while they're here, they work to become legal and get their documentation.
Well, I mean, if they're wanting to better themselves, then why not?
Okay, so you're okay with that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I was very curious because that's something that there's a lot of people that don't agree with that. They're like, yo, you should not be able to come here illegally. Now, mind you,
with mindset, kid, stop.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, kid, that. Look, kids, stop.
Kids, stop.
That they have all intentions to becoming legal.
So what do you say?
And let everybody come in, and you coming over here and say, "Look, I'm fixing to say 20 years. I'm not doing."
Because there's a lot of people that come here illegally. They get more benefits than the legals. So you're not cool with that. Okay.
Wait a minute. Stop. Let me pause you there.
Like-
say that again. What you
There's
just said?
some people that come here illegally.
that get
They end up getting benefits.
more benefits.
I don't want to say more benefits, but they end up getting benefits as if they were legal.
for a short period of time, right? So
Either way.
they get, because the system,
Yeah.
right? As an attorney, I look for a loophole.
That's how the system is.
I look for a loophole. I gotta help my client. They
Of
pay-
course.
So like, hey, you may not at the end of the day get approved for your asylum, so you'll have to.
Okay, so what about all these illegals that show up and commit crimes?
Those I think
Because there's a lot of those.
it's a clear. I think that's an easy answer. I mean,
Okay.
whatever.
Which is why, okay, that's the easy answer. I know where you're going with this.
Uh-huh.
That's the easy answer, which is why you can't allow anybody to come in illegally, because you don't know who's coming in to work and who's coming in to sell drugs.
Look, if you take the percentages, right? If 100,000 undocumented people, just when they say they're crossing the border, it's a mix of they're being encountered at the border, they're given some kind of paperwork and released, and they're gonna get a court date, which might be 2 or 3 years, and they disappear and they're in the system, and they'll never go to immigration court, and now they're working, doing whatever, construction, this, that, the other, they're gone, right? If they get arrested, if they get an encounter with immigration, it's going to show up because they get fingerprinted. They say, oh, you had a court date. You didn't show up. You have a deportation order, and they get deported. But then you have those that enter and no one's found them. They just enter the country illegally. That process, what he's talking about, there needs to be a stop, right? There's some way we have to stop that. I agree. You have to stop the flow. But for those that are already in, it's impossible for you to.
No, I agree with that. No, there's no way. There's no way.
It's an easy answer. You commit a crime, a felony, whatever. That's not even a question.
Of course.
Hey, if you commit assault, a DUI, hey, you get caught. Hey, it's an easy answer.
Of course.
For all those that come and they don't commit crimes and they're
hard workers. They're actually good citizens. Yeah.
You know, they're good people, but they're here illegally. A lot of these people come knowing, hey,
they're good illegal citizens.
I'm going to be undocumented. I'm not going to get nothing, but it's 10 times better than the life I had over there.
Right.
And like any normal parent, any normal thinking parent, my kids, or if I have a kid in this country, their life is going to be way better. So what they're thinking, I don't care what happens with my life, but for the next 3-4 generations, they have an opportunity to live the American dream, right? So it's very difficult to say, oh, don't come. It's easy for you to say.
So it sounds like you and Mighty Mom agree 100. Y'all pretty much on the same page there.
If you commit a crime, but the point with Officer Taylor, they're here illegally. They got to go. It's logistically.
No, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
No, it's impossible.
What AOC is saying is, give them citizenship.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. Do not give them zero political power.
Right.
You become a citizen, you can vote.
Of course.
Zero political power. If
Sure.
they say, look, we're January, say we're in the month of January, say anybody from February 1st and before, if you're in this country, you pay $10,000, you're going to get a work permit. You will never ever become a citizen. If you have more than 2 violations of the law, you lose and you get deported, whatever.
Right.
You can create a system where it's like, okay, and then if the border is secure, I don't care if you send the Army, National Guard, whatever you got to do, super wall, but anybody else that's here, you make them documented. You can know who they are, what they're doing, if they've been arrested, where they work, where they live, they pay taxes. Man, I don't see a lot of undocumented individuals taking the jobs from college educated people or the bricklayers or the construction workers or the farm people. I don't see a line of farm workers that look like you and me. They don't take those jobs.
Right.
Your hotels, I go to plenty of hotels. I've been to plenty. Undocumented workers are cleaning the hotels.
Okay.
They're cutting the grass, doing the construction.
So again, like the same question I asked her for you, are you okay with illegal immigrants coming to America illegally.
No, I'm not okay with that.
Okay.
But the reality is,
No, forget about the reality.
no,
Like,
I'm not okay with that.
Okay, that's the question.
That I'm not.
So
okay
you
with
would
that.
prefer them to go through the process?
But there's no process. That doesn't exist. That whole theory, like, hey, go through the process. If I'm poor in Nicaragua, there is no process.
Well,
for me to become,
there is a process. They just can't afford it.
No,
there is a process because they can actually spend X amount of dollars to get a visa to come here. Some of them just don't have the money.
Oh, you mean if you're a rich?
That's what I'm saying.
Rich Nicaraguan.
You're not gonna want to come here anyway.
If I can afford to spend $1 million to set up a business in the United States, I don't care if I.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I think a lot of these other countries, for $250, that's the application to for a visa to come visit, not to live, just to visit.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
For you to get a tourist visa to come to the United States, right? You have to show why wouldn't you stay in the United States if we allow you in?
Yeah.
So what do you need to show? I own property. Here's my bank statement. I have money in the bank. I have jobs.
See, this is why he's breaking it down. This is what he did this.
Yeah,
A lot of people.
I don't know that. I didn't know this.
I mean, I did learn something.
Okay, yeah, please teach me.
But that's you have to show. You know what? Jamil's not going to leave the Dominican Republic. He has 3 houses, or he has a house. He has all his family. He has a business over there. He has a job that he's been working 10 years. He has a bank account. We're going to give you permission to come to our country. But if you're poor, uneducated, you have no. Why would the second you come to the United States, you are not going back. You can't afford to go to Disney. So the process of like, come here legally. President Trump had a model wife, right? That's the only reason why she was able to get citizenship, because she was a model. But if she wasn't a model, she speaks no English. She doesn't do, like, she would not be able to be here legally.
She speaks a little bit of English.
She was a model. That's why she was able to get paperwork. And there's rumors that she worked as a model, undocumented here. When you come on a tourist visa, you can't work. So there's theories that she came as a tourist but got paid as a model, which violates the reason why you come to the country. That's another story.
Right.
But anyway, the whole theory is like, hey, no, they should come here legally. Yeah, the poor person from El Salvador that lives in a tin shack, you need to come here legally. Hey, I've been to El Salvador a lot of times. There's levels of poverty.
That's facts. That's facts. That's
in
facts.
the United States, there's no idea.
DR is the same way. Trust me.
Yes.
DR is the same way.
And so when you have a family that pays the coyote, crosses the river, gets here, man, you can't be like, oh, you're a criminal because you violated immigration law. Plus, it's not a criminal act. It's a civil act. It's not immigration law is not criminal. Just so we know, because
gotcha.
It's not a criminal act. It's a civil act. So
gotcha.
It's not black and white. That's the whole story that Tatum talks about. But anyway,
let's move on to the next topic.
All right, next topic. That was good. I got my juices flowing.
I see. God,
long-winded on immigration stuff.
God, I ain't even speak. This man ain't even let me talk. God damn.
At least we got Mighty Mom's
Who
opinion.
else is here? I'm leaving, man. I'm done.
Thank you for having Kid Plot as a guest.
Thank you. I'm welcome. Shit.
All right, let's check out the second video. Now we're gonna get into some fun stuff.
All right.
I think this is talking about what should a man make for
oh my God,
ladies to kind of have a relationship with. This is an interesting video. Let's take a look.
I want his income to be. I feel like this is gonna sound bad. I feel like 300,000.
I would have to say 127, probably 150 to $250,000 a year.
$500,000. Is that bad? 150, maybe to 250,000 a year would be comfortable for sure. I was just having this conversation with my friend, and she was like, "You have to manifest a husband, girl. Ideally, my husband needs to be making like 650,000.
Yeah.
So you said you want 500K, but what do you think the median for a 30-year-old?
60K, 70K.
It is $45,000.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
I think it's 250,000.
It's 52,000.
What? No, it's not.
She thought the medium.
Damn, America.
She literally thought that the medium income of a man was $250,000 in this country.
This is a mighty mom
She is
question.
lost.
Do you have daughters, correct?
I do.
How many daughters?
I have 2.
Okay. So daughter A comes to you and says,
Okay.
Mom, I'm dating a guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guy. When you do your interview, like, what does he do? What does he do? What kind of money figure in 2024 in your mind
Mm-hmm.
should he be making?
First of all, I would want him to be employed, but me personally, I'm not telling my daughters to look for money. That's me.
Very
I've
good.
lived and I've learned. You get money, they're manifesting. They're saying they're manifesting a husband. I mean, money. They're manifesting. They should be manifesting a husband that's going to take care of them, that's going to love them unconditionally, put God first, and treat them like a lady. Money, okay, you get a man making 500, 250,000. That's comfortable, right?
Yes.
Okay, and he treats you like a dog.
Preach.
But you're worried about the money.
Talk to him.
No, I'm not teaching my kids to go after. I don't care what. I'm not going to say, let me back up. I'm not going to say I don't care what he makes, but he can start at 45,000. If he has the intentions and he has the goals in his life, that's what I want them to look for. Men with goals. Okay, you have a $45,000 income, but what are your goals in life?
Right.
This may just be his beginning. You know, you may be with him and y'all partner. You come together and you bring. What are they bringing? That's what I want to know.
Well, go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was just gonna say I completely agree. If your daughters or any woman at all, if they're looking for a guy for what they make and that's the most important thing to them, I think that's a recipe for disaster, because a lot of times when you look for a guy that's making $250,000 or $500,000 or $1 million a year, or like that one chick says $650,000 a year, which is a very high income making guy, a lot of times that's not going to come with loyalty.
Time.
It's not going to come with time.
Right.
He's not going to give you the things you want. The only thing he's going to give you is you're going to have the money and the lifestyle, but he's not going to give you all the other things that women typically want. And I know women typically want loyalty, and those type of guys that make a lot of money, they're going to want to leave. They're going to want to step out of the relationship, and you're going to have to be okay with it because you wanted the money, right?
That's what you wanted.
Right.
That's what you asked for.
Exactly. So I think that's great advice. What you're saying is great, because a lot of these young girls, they're interested in this lifestyle that a lot of these rappers, entertainers, any celebrity in general, or even influencers that are making good money, a lot of times, because they got so many options. See, when you're an influencer, like your son Mighty Duck, even though Mighty Duck's a totally different guy, he's a good guy, but
Yes, he is.
but people like Mighty Duck that, let's say they weren't of his personality, or people like even myself that's an influencer on Instagram, there's a lot of options. Like, we could DM a bunch of different girls and be able to do skits and be able to do videos, and they'll be like, oh yes, I would love to do it. And then when you meet up with them, there's opportunity there. So there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of options for people like Mighty Duck, myself, or any other influencer that's not 500 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Because you look halfway decent is all you need if you have that type of status and platform, right? Yeah. And even if you're completely out of shape, and a lot of those girls don't care because they see clout. I want that clout that he got, right? So when you have that type of clout, and those girls are after those same things, when you have that many options, a lot of times that's going to end up being you being unfaithful to your girl. You're going to end up stepping out. And a lot of times when you have that, because I know I have a lot of friends that got millions and millions of followers, and some of those girls are okay with it, even though they're really not okay with it, but they accept it. Exactly. So they're not really happy.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? They accept it, but they're not happy. You see what I'm saying? So to me, it's terrible when you're after the money, because when you're after the money, it comes with those other things that you definitely don't want to put up with. Most girls want loyalty. If you ask 100 girls, 97 of them are gonna say, I want my man to be loyal. And I want him, not just loyal, I want him to be faithful. Because loyal and faithful is two different things. They want him to be faithful and loyal.
I have a different opinion.
Yeah, I know you do.
All right.
I know you do.
I got 2 daughters, right? I think is relative to stage in life. I think the blanket statement, all women want their men to be faithful, regardless of income level. Like, if the dude makes $12 an hour or he makes $1,000 an hour,
Agree.
the girl wants him to be faithful.
The majority, yes.
All right. The guy that makes $12 an hour, if he really tries, he'll find something else on the side. There's something out there, right? There's something out there. But at the end of the day,
But they're not so up. They're not in your face about it.
Right.
These guys that are making $500,000 a year, they'll let the girl know up front.
Here we go.
They'll let them know in their face. Telling you.
This is where I go. I think it's relative to stage in life. If I have a 20-year-old, I have a 19, 20-year-old, and she meets a 25-year-old and falls in love, or it's a serious, I don't expect the 25-year-old to have an established career making X amount of dollars. But I think towards Mighty Mom's point, hey, if the kid looks like he's ambitious, he's goal-oriented, you can have a poor guy that's a piece of shit, or you can have a high-income earner that's a piece of shit.
Right.
But let's say he's a good guy, but he does have qualities. He's goal oriented. He wants to do something in life. Cool. Fast forward a few years. Now my daughter is 25-year-old and she meets a 37-year-old. Hey, I don't want my daughter to date a guy that makes $45,000. Like, the lifestyle my daughter's lived with me, she knows what good is, right? Like, I wouldn't want her to lower her expectations. Like, no, hey, I want you to be able to provide a style of life that I've lived. If it's together or him as an individual, but man, if he's 37 years old and he makes $60,000 and my daughter wants a guy that makes at least 6 figures, I don't think there's any harm in that. Or he's a guy that's making 60,000 but just started a business, or something where the possibility that he may earn more, or she wants someone that will earn more.
But why is the income so important? Why is the income of the guy so important? I think I need to ask her. Well, she made it clear that shouldn't be the most important thing. But she just said it shouldn't be the most important thing.
It's not.
But you just said.
No, we're coming from 2 different lifestyles as well. I hear you. You're an attorney and you make great money and your wife is living well. Your daughter, that's what they're used to. My daughters were raised average. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I think your expectations is going to be higher.
It's totally different
than mine.
And even mine. I was raised broke.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I respect your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm thinking, why, there's a lot of fish in the sea, right? If my daughter is well educated, comes from a good background, she has things that she can provide. But
what is she going to provide?
Well,
what can
in
she
the
provide?
sense of she comes from a well-off, situation where.
But guys don't care about that.
Okay, but I'm not gonna let my opinion. I don't want my daughter to get with a guy who's doing the minimum or earns the minimum.
So if she falls in love with a custodian,
You got a problem with that?
Oh, yes,
That's a no for you.
See, you see,
that for me is a major
No.
problem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dudes that can treat you good.
You're just as bad as these OnlyFans girls, man.
Again,
this nigga just as bad as these OnlyFans girls.
Just like the
man.
next dude.
Yeah.
Like the custodian.
This nigga here.
Hey, look, what I've worked hard.
See, I knew there was a root issue. The root issue was you. It's dads like you.
Hey,
see, that's where these girls come from. I thought it was them. Nah, it's niggas like you to do this shit.
I've been poor, and I don't want my future family, whatever it is, grandson, grandchildren, to end up being poor.
So you want them to say,
but they gonna have a
make sure you check their W-2.
Huh? No. I think it's very simple. It's very simple. If she meets a guy and says, yeah, I work, I'm a manager at McDonald's and I make $45,000, $50,000. Okay, it's all relative to what you're used to. To some people, hey, this guy makes $50,000, $60,000. Damn, that's good money. Like shit, I can live. Okay, cool. But in my case, I want my daughters to say, hey,
Yo,
hey,
you see,
listen to me. If you want to live good, you gotta your prospects.
you see,
Now I agree with Jamil. You want a high prospect? Hey, you want a doctor?
now you can't call me Jamil no more. You call me Kid Plot.
My bad, Kid Plot.
Nah, you can't call me
We know
Jamil.
each other for
Only my
20
friends
years.
call me that. Only my friends call me that.
All right, so
Not you.
like Kid Plot's point, hey, that comes with some issues. A guy earns $300,000, he might have some options to him. So there's pros and cons
Yeah.
to both,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But
You
I
see-
think there's nothing wrong with a girl says like, hey, I want someone that can provide in the future, that could provide a legacy.
Okay,
for
so check this
future
out.
families.
No, you're right. There's
nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong
I
with
don't
that.
think
As
that's-
long as is
Yeah.
agreed. As long as she's okay with that same guy saying, "Hey, that's what you want? Cool, I'm him." But this is what comes with that. I want to step out of the relationship once a month because I like to have variety. Time out. Not only that, I want to be able. I need you to cook. I need you to clean. I need you to hold down the household, and I need you to make sure that I have my meal for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a little snack. I need to make sure that you take care of everything, but you got to also allow, I'm loyal to you because I'm going to never leave you. I'm going to always take care of you because I make all this bread. But at the same time, I'm going to be unfaithful. I'm going to be loyal, but I'm going to be unfaithful. You got to be okay with that because typically guys that make a lot of money, that's what they want. They might not be in your face about it. The guys that make millions of dollars, they'll let you know. Michael Blackson let his wife know off top, and she's okay with it.
Look,
I'm letting you know. He even said it himself, and she's okay with it.
okay, we're not. Look, if my daughter married gets with an NBA player, I'm like, hey, be ready because this.
No,
is what
not be ready. Accept it.
This is what it is.
Oh, okay. You see, that's the bullshit that I'm saying.
But I'm talking about the average
$500,000 or $300,000 a year guy is not an average guy.
Hey, if my daughter is well educated, hardworking, comes from a good background, there's nothing wrong to say like, hey, I want someone that can provide what I'm used to and have goals to do more. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, if she's the
And there's nothing wrong with him having what he wants.
okay, but that it's not automatic. Look, I've been to a lot of family doctors that they've been a doctor for 20 something years.
Mhm.
You know, John Smith, that has been a family doctor. He probably makes $500,000-$600,000. He's been at the and he's been married 25, 30 years. Was that a conversation like, hey, Jane, to be with me, you know, you gotta no, it's like Jane came from a good background, family had money, college educated, we met, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing wrong. It happens every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mentality with this OnlyFans business and this like, oh, high value man. No, like you could come from a good background or we'll say a social economic background where, hey, I lived a certain lifestyle. Hey, I just want my partner,
Oh, man.
I want them to have the same type of lifestyle that I had and we can grow, do better.
That's
Or guess
fine.
what?
I
but
just
it's
think-
not necessarily like, oh, he makes $300,000. I got to be prepared for him to cheat on me.
I just think
Not everybody operates
I
that
just think it's sad that when she gave the example of if your daughter fell in love with a custodian, you'd have a problem with that.
I personally,
Thank God you better not be the one deciding on who she
no,
wants
can
to
do what
date.
she wants.
Okay, cool.
When she go, but hey, if we're gonna go to a vacation on Europe, I'm not paying for her ass. Tell him to get a second job so he can pay for your tickets. Because I'm going to Europe with the family. You staying here.
No,
I'm
you're
not paying for
You're
it.
paying for it.
No, I'm not gonna pay for it.
You're rich.
No. I'm not rich, but I'm not gonna use my miles
Hold
on
up.
my credit card.
Mighty mom, are you
Go find you someone that can pay.
Mighty mom? Are you okay with your daughter dating a custodian if she loves him?
If he treats her well, yes.
See, that is the right answer. Okay, you go digging,
Yeah,
mother
fine.
freaker.
You can find.
They're different.
You can find.
Nah, don't be trying to be nice to this guy. You just trying to agree with him. Nah, man.
It's okay.
See, the problem is, there's a page on there's World Star, and there's this page, what is it, Young LA or something like that, where I don't remember which page I saw this meme on, where it says women nowadays are looking for help, not love. You want this nigga to be help.
No.
You don't care about them finding love.
I need help.
But what I'm saying is,
Don't need help.
you don't care about her finding love. You want her to find help.
No.
But that's what you just said.
Love, but at the same time, I don't want her to find love with someone that cannot provide a certain lifestyle for her.
I think that's fair for a parent to say, though.
Like, there's nothing wrong. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I was a nuclear physicist, and my father was a nuclear biologist, and and my daughter now is a double PhD. But she's gonna marry a construction worker because
So why is it okay
he treats me so good, Dad, and he worked. But you're eligible for the Nobel Prize.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, bro, it don't work that way.
Hey, listen,
that's not gonna happen.
Again, that's fine. If that's what you want for her, that's okay. She's gonna make the decision ultimately. But what I'm saying is that if a woman is looking for a partner, looking for love, she needs to be more interested in how, like she said, how he treats her. If he's faithful, if he's loyal, if he's attentive, pay attention to details, small details. Women like that type of thing. And he's taking care of her, right? Just because you're making $300,000, $200,000, you can take care of your girl making $60,000, $70,000 a year. You don't have to make it 6 figures. You could definitely do it.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Now, are you going to be buying Louis Vuitton bags? No. You can still gift her a Michael Kors bag.
Yes.
That's $200, $300. You could gift her that.
Hey, and if my daughter was happy with that, cool.
Okay,
But
cool. So what's the problem? Custodians nowadays make about $50,000 a year, $50,000 a year.
It's more.
But what you want doesn't matter. You're not deciding who she wants to be with.
That wasn't the question.
You're right. That wasn't.
That wasn't the question. Right?
You see, but the reason why it bothers me is because what you want for your daughter should be for her to be happy. The fact that you're saying I don't want her you should be happy with if she's happy. If she says, Dad, I'm in love with this guy. He treats me better than anybody I've ever been with. I've never been happier. What does he do for a living? Oh, he works at McDonald's. Hell no, you can't be with him. That's fucked up.
Look, if that's what she chooses, that's what she chooses. Again, it's like, okay, let's take a snapshot. You meet a girl. She's beautiful. You have no idea what she is. Like, does she come from a good family? Does she have a good background? These are things you don't know in the initial snapshot. But your criteria of who I want to date, who possibly could be a future wife, these are the criteria I have. I want her to be beautiful. I might want her to be in fitness. Mm-hmm. I might want her to be able to cook.
Sure.
Clean. There's guys that don't care about cooking, right? So that's the snapshot. And then as you go along, you see what's there. But for me, mm-hmm. I want my daughter to say, hey, I want a guy that's in decent shape, good looking. I want him to be at least college educated.
Okay, but that's
has financial security.
That's fine. But that's where me and you disagree. I think that, I'm not a dad, but if I was a dad, I would want whatever it is that makes my daughter happy.
Okay. That's
where me and you disagree.
To
no, you don't care about her happiness.
I want her to be
you care about her being with a guy that you think could provide happiness, not whether or not he's already making her happy.
No, I want her to look.
Is that not right? Am I not making sense? Come on now. Let's be real.
Mom.
Let's be real, mighty mom.
You're a mom. I think you've made it clear that we all want our kids to be happy. Mm-hmm. No matter what the scenario. Right? Correct. Is it bad if you say, hey, I would love for you to be happy with someone who can do X for you?
I don't think it's wrong.
Or Y for you? Like,
you can voice your opinion.
Okay, at the end of the day, they choose.
Right.
Like,
but at the end of the day, what?
Know that.
But you think about it, like my daughters, I doubt that they would look for a custodian. Or, you know what I'm saying, or end up with a custodian.
Why?
I mean, just because how they were raised, like their dad is super materialistic. They are they're used to good things. You know,
I'm not different than her.
No, but No.
But I'm saying they like, you know,
That's
they
different.
look
They
for
have
love
expect-
though. But yeah, but they don't look for the money first. I think that's, you know,
But
So-
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they look for a guy that seems to like
can be
he
a
has-
good provider. I'll say that.
Fair enough. Again, if we're gonna go on vacation, look, trust me on this. I guarantee you, we're gonna go on a family vacation, and she's married. And
Okay.
guess what, Dad? I can't afford those tickets. Well, I'll see you when I get back.
Okay, time out. Let me ask it like this, because based on what she said, based on what you said. So she said that based on how kids were raised, they're not going to be interested in the custodian.
No,
and-
my kids.
Your kids.
My 2 girls. I don't think they would.
you don't think so because they weren't raised that way. Cool, no problem.
Say they don't date.
No, I'm just saying that
Yeah,
they're going to want a guy that's more well off.
Yeah,
Because that's
probably so.
no problem with that. Okay, cool. And you're saying that you would want your daughter to be with a guy that makes more money so he could provide and be able to give her a better life, right? Okay,
and,
cool.
And
Time out, let me
kids
finish.
and stuff like that.
No problem. Okay. So I don't have an issue with that. My issue is I'm gonna ask this question like this, because based on what she said that if her daughter came with a guy that is a custodian or does work at a fast food restaurant, she wouldn't say, "What you doing with this guy? Why you with a guy that does this?" It sounds like you would say that.
I in that case, I would say, hey, I would say,
See the difference?
But-
That's the difference.
but-
She would say she would be supportive. We're not supportive.
Look,
That's the problem.
I would say, hey, why does that? But at the end of the day, hey, if you happy, you grown, you make your decision, you live with it. I'm cool with that.
Because you know what? Because what happens, I'm just thinking, what happens if she gets with somebody making $300,000 and just the drop of a hat, it changes overnight?
But that could happen with someone who's doesn't make it makes $50,000.
Yeah, but you have to love that person because you're gonna marry for good and
For sure.
worse, and,
No.
you know,
Like, I think you need to love them. She has to be
Okay, let's
in
ask-
love,
let's
this,
do
that,
this.
the- Yes, I think there's no problem with that.
How old were you when you got married?
oh my goodness, 20. Let's see, I was 21 when I had you.
Okay, so you already had kids when you got married,
Yeah.
remarried. Okay, so you had some experience, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but you got married with the person you're with now.
hmm
How old were you back? So how long you guys been married?
So I got married when I was 25. We've been married going on 23 years.
23 years. Okay, so you guys been together for a very long time. So how is it that when you met him, was he a baller? Was he already making crazy money? Or what made you fall for him?
Oh, not at all. Appearance.
Okay, so you thought he was attractive.
Very.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that's fair enough. That's great. Okay,
We all look.
absolutely. So
Fair enough.
after his appearance, then what? After his appearance, then you got to know him,
Right.
and you like that
He
too.
was better than I thought he would because if you know my husband, he's from Miami. He has a gold grill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had waves back. So yeah,
Okay.
he was built.
He was built, and you liked his personality.
Well, at first, you know, I thought he was a little player, but
Okay.
once we got to conversing,
Yeah,
and he just seemed very educated.
Okay.
And it threw me for a loop.
and it
You
and it
know,
blew
good
you
girl loves bad guy.
right, and it blew you away even more. And then you guys became boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mhm.
Okay, and then at some point you got married. Okay, how long did y'all date before you got married?
6 years.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. So 6 years and then you guys get married. So my point is you didn't get with him looking at the bag.
No.
And you guys been married 23 years. The point that I'm trying to make is that when you go after what does he do for a living, there's a very good chance of an unsuccessful relationship.
I disagree.
I don't I see
I-
that's where me and you disagree.
All right, let's
That's where me and you disagree.
last video. Jump over this table.
We got proof right here.
Let's go. Next video. The next video we would talk we just reacted to a video talking about money. This one's talking about age.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's check out this video.
But I think I had stated that I don't see the advantage of dating a woman who's 31 versus 21.
Sure, you don't have to.
There's no advantage to me.
I think that
Oh, she's a porn
there's
star.
a lot of advantages of
The one
dating a
talking?
person who has
Oh, really?
She's a porn star.
earth for longer and knows more.
So
And
has
has more
a higher body
experiences.
count and more promiscuous and more baggage from past relationships.
You know, if you don't see the merit of somebody being on this earth for longer and accruing more experiences, then I can't tell you how to.
All right. So basically, his point is, it's better to date a 21-year-old versus a 31-year-old because the 31-year-old has more baggage.
Yeah, it's funny that the porn star was the one that responded. I've seen her before.
His point, I completely disagree with him. So I'll go ahead. You go first, Mighty Mom. What do you think about that statement?
About age.
Yeah. I do not agree with that. Because the 31-year-old may not have more body, more experience on this earth, but that 21-year-old could be a hoe. She could have been a
Very
slut
much
in
so.
high school, in middle school. So yeah, I totally disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, before I give my what do you think?
I personally, I wouldn't want to date a 21-year-old. I can have fun with a 21.
You mean at your age now?
No. Even okay, I'm gonna be 48, right?
Mm-hmm.
At my age, I wouldn't want to date a 21-year-old, just because I can have fun with a 21-year-old, no problem. But as far as like day-to-day conversation and it's too big of a gap, right? Like what she's thinking about when I'm thinking too big of a gap. A 31-year-old, 32-year-old. To me, a 21-year-old still lives with mom or dad, or they just moved in with a roommate at 21. If I was a 35-year-old, I wouldn't want to date a 21-year-old for those same reasons, right? So at 35, I got my own crib. I pay, I pay my own bills. I got my own thing, and she lives with her mom. And like, am I gonna go to my? Like, I'm not sleeping over your mom's house, right? Like, those are issues I don't want to deal with. A 30-year-old, a 28-year-old, typically, at least is going to have their own spot. They're independent already. They have some kind of job. I don't care how much they make, but at least some kind of level of independence. As a man, on the physical level, hey, a 21, 22-year-old, oh my God, they're brand new. They're out the box. Let me go have fun all day. But as far as like dating and like an interaction, a 20-year-old, I would take a 31-year-old if I'm at least 32, 33, 34, 35.
Well, you'll take a 31-year-old at 47.
My wife is about to turn 32 years old.
Exactly. Which is why I said
I practice what I preach. About 15 years. But at least, hey, she lived in her own spot. She had jobs. She was taking care of herself. I didn't care how much she made. I just wanted to see, like, if I'm not on this earth, she takes care of herself. She don't need me. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about how much she makes. She could have been a dentist. It didn't matter to me at that point because I paid my own bill.
And that's the difference between men and women. Women actually typically, for the most part, not every woman, but most women care what their men do. Unfortunately.
Would you date, okay, you got a 31-year-old and a 21-year-old.
No, so
34.
So
what would you date?
No, 31. But let me say this. You know me. I'm in the minority in this. My ex-girlfriend is 8 years older than me. My ex-girlfriend is 40. My ex-girlfriend is 46 years old. 46 years old. Well, 47 now.
Okay.
So I like older women. So
okay.
But I'm in the minority. Most men don't like older women.
True.
Hence you and a lot of other men.
So what do you think of the statement?
If you ask 100 men, they're normally dating younger girls. I don't know if your husband is older than you or younger than you, but most of the time they're older.
How much older is your husband?
20 years. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I was about to say that man look amazing.
Okay, 4. 20 years younger. I was like, man, she got me.
How old is he?
I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's 4 years older than him.
4 years older.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm about to say, man, he looks superb.
How would you feel if your 21-year-old says, like, Mom, I met this guy. He's 40 years old.
So my question would be, because
does he treat you
actually
right?
kinda
Yeah, that would be a little
It
difficult.
doesn't matter how much he makes, but he's-
but do you all have things in common? Because that would be my concern at that age.
Right.
If you're 21 and he's 40 something, like, what do y'all have in common? What does he see in a 21-year-old?
Not much.
Yeah, we know what he.
I mean, we know what he see, but what does she see in him?
Exactly. So no, that's my
Yeah. There's not a lot in common when you're 20 years difference.
Exactly.
Yeah, nah. So for me, like, you know, I have a limit. Me and my brother are both the same when it comes to this. We look at, like, I agree with him when it comes to, we could do 10 years older or 10 years younger. That's how we look at it. 10 plus, 10 minus. I can't do anything more than 10 minus. I'm 38 now. So 28 I could do.
Yeah.
Anything younger than 28, I'm already feeling a little weirded out about it. For dating and being like my girlfriend and being in an actual relationship with them. And older than 48, same thing. So my ex-girlfriend is 8 years older than me. I was with her for 10 years. And we just recently, a few months ago, broke up. But I typically like older women because typically older women are more mature. They typically are not in the club scene. They don't want to go to the club every weekend because I don't go to the club unless I'm performing, right? Because I do music. So I'm not in the club every single weekend like I used to be. So I want more of that chill, be at the crib. I'm a house body. I be at the crib. I write music. I record at the house. I got my studio at the crib. So I do everything at the house, to be honest with you. Where a lot of these younger girls are always, they wanting to be more in the nightlife.
Yeah.
And typically that's why I like older women. Now, I'm not in the majority when it comes to that. There's most guys like Kodo that they want to be with younger women because not only of the physical appearance. See, my ex-girlfriend looked good. She's a competitor. She competes in bikini competition. She looked good. You know, but I'm the type of dude that I care about the physical appearance. As long as you're in shape, you're a gym rat just like me because I go to the gym every single day. I want her to go to the gym just like me. That's one of the things, like you just said, what do you have in common? That's one thing that I like to have in common with the person I'm dating. But as far as age, I actually prefer somebody, even if she's 1 or 2 or 3 years older than me, because I feel like she's going to be more serious about the relationship than a younger girl. And she's not going to want to, like, this is not a tryout. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you're in your late 30s or 40s, this ain't a tryout. Like, let me see how this goes. When you're in your 20s, it's like, this is a tryout. If I don't like it, I'm moving on.
Exactly.
If you're older, if you have an argument with your man, we about to figure this shit out, my boy. We're not breaking up just because we disagree. Somebody in their 20s, I'm done with this dude. Next. It's so much easier, which is why I don't entertain younger girls.
Yeah.
Even right now that I'm younger, even right now that I'm single, I mean, I have a lot of opportunities with girls that are 24, 25, 26.
Tell this dude he's missing out. I don't know.
Yeah, because that's what he like. But see, when it comes to taking them seriously, I'm not interested because I feel like I'm just let's see how it goes. When a girl's older, she's like, nah, we're not about to see how this goes. You with me, I'm with you. We're going to work this shit out. Right? That's what I like.
Let me ask you this. If your daughter gets it, I don't know if your daughters are married or not, but just hypothetically, your daughter meets an individual that is well established, this, that, the other, in love, great guy, this, that, the other, and, you know, everything looks good. You'd love the dude. I said, Mom, John asked me to sign a prenup. What is your thoughts on that?
I would definitely just say, you know, it's totally up to you at the end of the day if you feel comfortable doing that. But my thing is, you're bringing to the table some things. So if you have to leave with what you brought, then you should be okay with that. Okay, so you would say go ahead and sign it. I mean, my opinion, yeah. Okay, just curious. I was just curious. I
have another question for her. I mean, obviously, I know you're married, but you know, what is it that, have you ever had a conversation with your daughters about what to look for in a man, or never, or yes?
Oh yeah.
What is it that
I'm really close with all my kids.
Oh, I know you're close with Mighty because I see a lot of videos with him, but like, what is it that you tell them as far as what to look for and what what you tell them to look for, is it similar to what you looked for, or is it different?
That's a good question, because yeah, I have told them what to look for. You know, first, I mean, to me, it has a lot to do with your upbringing, but I say that just speaking from my kids. But from me, just my upbringing, I'm totally different, because I don't want my kids to experience any of that. You know what I'm
Experience
saying?
what?
Like from
What'd you experience?
Like no communication with my mom,
Okay.
no advice. Like
Okay.
I'm making sure that I talk to my kids. I'm there for my kids. Da da da. So yeah, I tell them, one, I mean, to first of all, I mean, I ain't getting into religion, but make sure that he is a God-fearing man.
Mm-hmm.
I do tell them that. That's just me personally.
Right.
And I just tell them, to find somebody that's going to treat you good. But honestly, just with their upbringing, I keep going back to that, is because they kind of know what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their dad and I didn't fuss, we didn't fight, we didn't do any of that. So I hope that they wouldn't, even if they get into a relationship that may become that,
Mm-hmm.
I hope that they would be smart enough to say, I'm not dealing with that, and not become one of those statistics. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Right.
To just deal with, because he has money, or because he's treating them and getting them the purses that they want, the
Right.
shoes they want. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I tell them, definitely, I talk to them and I tell them, hey, I don't know if I tell them what to look for, but I tell them what not to deal with. And
What is it that you looked for? What is it that you looked for when you were single?
so when I was single,
Yeah.
somebody that treated me nice. The money was not an issue. I mean, like I say, because I can't.
As long as he had a banging body, that
he looked good.
If we had a banging body and a grill, we good. Like, all right.
So as long as he looked good.
All right.
Okay.
No, that really. I mean, back then, I was what 20.
You like what you like. There's no problem.
Right.
Yeah, 324.
Okay.
So yeah, back then,
Yeah.
I wasn't fully mature.
I got
Sure.
Look for long term.
Hey,
Okay.
credit to you. At 23, even with all that,
Yeah.
23 years later, here you are. Man, there's people that.
Well, they dated at 23 and then they got married 6 years later, she said. So
I mean,
they've been together for
it's
longer
more,
than 23
it's
years.
almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
a long time. That's credit to you.
Had kids and
1,000%.
everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's what's up.
Yes.
Man, that's great advice, man, because like I said earlier, I know you disagreed with this, but like she just said, you should look for the person that treats you right, that you're physically attracted to, and not be worried too much about the bag, because a lot of times the bag comes with a lot of baggage.
We agree.
No, you didn't say that.
Agree. We
Nah,
agree.
you're foolish.
Let me ask you one last question. We've talked about this topic. I'm about to ask you this question before we wrap things up. But since you are a woman that's been married 20 plus years, let's say you have a great relationship, you have kids, but you find out he stepped out.
I love this one.
Right? So I know we've had this conversation. He's like, it's game over.
It's over with.
It's over. I'm of the opinion, at the end of the day, I think there's levels to it, right? Like a drunk night, something happens versus like an ongoing relationship.
Nah, alcohol ain't an excuse for me.
Emotions involved. That's different. If I've said it, look, I have a wife. Now I have a 10-month-old daughter. And in 3-4 years, if something was to happen, I would greatly weigh, is this something, was I at fault? Was I doing something wrong that made this happen? And is she really repentant? Like, if she really regrets what she did, am I going to throw away what possibly can be the next 20 years of my life and a family? Or say, no, you made a mistake, it's over. I don't care about anything else. Right? I think there's a difference. If she says, man, I have feelings for him and I just did this, and that's a different story.
Right.
But if she comes crying and said, I was drunk, we were fighting, I did something, I'm so sorry, I think there's levels to it, right? So,
but before she answers, it's different for a man and a woman.
I was gonna say that.
Okay.
too.
It's very different.
Yes, it is.
Go ahead.
All right, so
Tell
here
him.
we
Talk
go.
to him.
So
Yeah,
so
so
a
I'm-
scenario in the court. You have kids. I don't know what year it is, but you have kids. You've been together a good amount of time, and you find out
Yeah.
through a text. Nowadays everything's on the phone.
Yeah.
Through
Yeah.
a text message, or whatever. He had a side piece.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say, "Hey, pack your shit. It's time for you to go," or do you give it time? You think about it. What? You know, I'm just curious because you've been married 23 years, and then,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's something that's happened, but just overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do? In
Honestly,
general?
I would say I have been blessed because I've never ever had to deal with that.
That's
Thank
awesome.
God.
Yes.
So, but you know, my girls and I, we talked about that. They've even asked, and they're like, "Mom, what if you found out Dad had a kid on the side?"
Mm.
Oh, that's
You know,
big.
oh my goodness.
That's big.
So that's different too. So
Okay.
never say what you would do until you're in that predicament, because I dealt with that with, you know, Mighty Duck's dad, and I would say, "No, I'm gonna leave you, stupid, to stay for that," and I was a fool. So of course, you know, moving on with my husband, if I found out today that he stepped out, first of all, according to, like, I would have to investigate and
Okay.
see how
That's what my mom did.
feelings.
That's what my mom
Okay.
did with my dad.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Okay.
is it worth staying? Are you gonna do this again?
Right.
You know,
Right.
so you know, I'm gonna have to just investigate, and if I feel, you know, that there were feelings, like you said, that's a game changer.
Mm.
You had feelings. Oh
Mm.
yeah, it's not gonna work because I'm
Okay.
never gonna trust you. In the back of my mind, you're always gonna be thinking, you know, about her when you're with me. But if it
Mm.
was a one night thing, I'm not gonna say I would leave, you know. But then
So you would forgive him if he says, "Yo, I messed up."
after the investigation,
Okay.
according to what the investigation reveals.
Okay.
I think feelings are big. I mean, again,
Yeah.
guys are different than women.
So what if he says, "Yo," what if you do the investigation, you realize, you know, it was a mistake, boom, and then he does it again 6 months later?
Oh yeah, it's over.
Then it's a wrap.
It's over.
Okay.
I'm not that type of girl.
Okay. Okay.
I think that.
Okay.
I think, like you said, that there's a big. There's feelings, no feelings.
That's what's up.
Yes.
Men are
With
built
me?
differently.
And listen, with me, one strike, you're out.
You ain't
I don't
got
forgive
kids.
one time.
I think it's completely different if you got.
I don't. And listen, one strike. Maybe you're right, but every relationship I've been with, I ain't got kids with them.
I promise.
So you cheat on me once, it's a wrap.
if you,
Holla.
it's totally different. We're talking about, like, say you've gotten married, you had the wedding, you build a life, you buy the house, you got the kid, they've been to,
I'm gonna live in the house by myself.
and something happens, you're just not gonna be like, nah. So like, you're gonna be like, why? What? Can we fix it? Like, you're just not gonna be like, nah, go. This is over.
Nah.
Like, I'm leaving my kids.
I ain't no simp, my nigga. That's simpy shit.
That's the single man talking.
That's the single
with
man talking.
no wife and kids.
Yeah, no wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
Mighty Mom.
Mighty Mom.
We're gonna let you wrap things up on Stop the Madness. Say goodbye, and please like and subscribe.
It's been real, like,
Yes.
and prescribe.
Subscribe.
Yes, yes.
Let me just
Oh, Baka, but right.
subscribe. This has been real. These some great guys.
Thank
I had
you.
so much fun. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for coming. Yes.
We be back.
All right, we out. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Click right here. If you want to watch more videos similar to this, click here.